What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we're going to be doing a full gameplay breakdown of EZREAL jungle. In this video today we're going to be breaking down Tarzaned, who I think is one of the best junglers to follow, what he's doing, his playstyle, what picks he's doing, and all of that. Some people obviously say he's playing EZREAL jungle for like clickbait or something, but this is actually on his challenger account, which if we take a look, it is actually rank number 18 in North America right now. He has two really high challenger accounts. I believe he has one that's even higher than rank 18, but again, this is on Tarzan 3D Tarzaned, which is rank 18 challenger, 1135 LP. He's been absolutely spamming EZREAL this week, and he's got something like 64% win rate on EZREAL jungle now. He thinks it's really good, and in this video today we're going to be breaking down how he makes the pick work and hopefully how you guys can use this pick to gain some LP of your own. Before we get into this video today, I just wanted to mention real quick that if you guys are interested in the stock market at all, interested in investing and setting yourself up for a great, awesome, and bright future, I actually have a link in my description below for Robinhood. It is a trading stock platform. It is an app on your phone. If you click the link in the description below and sign up, make an account, you don't have to put any money on it. If you just make an account, get all signed up, you get a free stock, and I get a free stock as well. It is an awesome way to help support this channel and help set yourself up for a really awesome and bright future. So again, if you're not signed up for Robinhood already, want to get a free stock, click that link below. Getting into this video, you can see, again, we're talking about EZREAL jungle. This is a Tarzaned full gameplay breakdown. He's starting out with the blue buff, going into Gromp, and then he is going to do his bot side. EZREAL really good at doing those solo camps. He's not going to be so good at doing the AoE camps at the beginning of the game. Also, taking a look at the items he's starting, this is just Hunter's Machete and refillable potion. Next up, we can take a look at the runes that he is taking to make this pick work. This is actually going to be Conquer EZREAL, pretty standard. Conquer into Presence of Mind, Legend Bloodline, Cut Down, and then we're going with Magical Footwear and Cosmic Insight. Obviously, there's a little bit of a scaling page. Getting the free boots, it's always going to be more for scaling because you're just not going to have those boots early. You're not going to be running around the map trying to fight people or anything too much. But if you're able to get to those free boots, it's going to be a huge influx of just free gold, and that's always going to be awesome. He does his whole bot side, then goes into the red buff. Something else really interesting about Tarzan in this EZREAL jungle is his skill order. He starts out with a point in Q, goes E second, and then Q third, and then alternates E and Q, going E at level 4, Q at level 5, ult at level 6, Q at level 7, E8, Q9. He does not put a point in W until level 10, which is really interesting. Here he does go for an early gank, because even though EZREAL isn't very strong early, once you have red buff, you can actually look for early ganks. Ahri unfortunately misses the charm there, and Tarzan does have to flash away from the Zoe, and he gets first blooded. But I could see what he was going for there. Once you have red buff, you are pretty strong. He actually got both of Zoe's summoners, picked up a kill for his mid laner. He did die for first blood. Probably wasn't the best trade in the world, but not really the worst trade in the world either. Definitely something you don't want to replicate. Obviously, you want to be a little bit cleaner. EZREAL not going to be the strongest in the early game. He's going to have a lot of bad matchups into other junglers in the early game, but his mobility, stuff like that, is actually going to give you potential to outplay some people, even though they might just be a little bit stronger than you as far as just like straight stat checking and stuff. But EZREAL can, you know, dance around, dodge some stuff with his E, do some cool things, and just by putting points in your Q, you're going to do a ton of damage, because again, obviously the W doesn't help you out with your jungle clear or anything, so he just decides to not put any points in W until later. And when you're looking for ganks and stuff, you are going to, again, you're going to want to have red buff to be able to apply slows to people. It's going to help you land your skill shots, help you get more autos off and stuff. But other than that, you're going to be looking to farm up a little bit, because you are still EZREAL. You do scale really hard into the mid game and late game. This isn't the tier build EZREAL AD carry where you're not going to be really strong until later on. Once you finish tier, you know, 20 minutes ish, you can start fighting people. EZREAL jungle, you can start fighting people a little bit sooner, because you're going to get your items a little bit sooner. Even though you're not going to spike as hard, you're going to be probably a little bit more reliably strong a little bit sooner in the game. As you can see, he just goes into another clear here. No problem at all, kiting around Gromp, staying at full health. He stays really healthy on this clear. Yeah, as far as the build that Tarzan goes in most of his games, this is actually red smite into warrior, and EZREAL does really well with that. He gets really strong. Then usually he will go into a Blade of the Ruin King. This game he actually decides to go for Iceborne Gauntlet second, pick up Ninja Tabbies, and then go Blade of the Ruin King, and then he usually goes Maw of Malmortius, and then starts picking up other defensive items, or even something like a Mortal Reminder, stuff like that. But usually the really core items on this are going to be Red Smite into Warrior, Iceborne Gauntlet, and Blade of the Ruin King, and then he usually does get Maw of Malmortius often too. Here we have just a party in the bot lane going on. Tarzan trying to apply as much damage as he can to as many people, missing a little bit of Qs, but again, EZREAL, really safe pick. You're going to be hyper mobile, which is always great in the jungle, and you're actually going to do a lot of damage if you can land your abilities. It's going to be very high skill caps. You're going to need to land, Qs, make sure you're not wasting your E and stuff, and again, you're really, really squishy and lose to a lot of junglers early, but if you play these fights right, you can be a very, very strong jungler pretty early on in the game. And now he's recalling. He is 2-1-1 at this point. So even though he died for that early first blood, got down to 0-1. He got put behind a little bit, got some sums out of it. Now he's up to 2-1-1. He's going to be pretty strong now. He's going to be in a pretty decent spot. But yeah, now we've talked about the runes, the build, all that stuff. We can just kind of take a look at what Tarzaned does to carry a very high level challenger game. And again, obviously Ezreal going to be pretty hard to play, probably going to be a little bit easier to pull off in something like challenger, but also an early game jungler that's pretty weak is going to get punished harder in challenger. And yeah, in your games, you're going to go unpunished. You're going to be able to safely farm up a little bit easier, even though you're definitely going to be worse at Ezreal. You're going to be missing more skill shots, not doing as much damage and stuff. If you just wait, scale up, farm, you're going to be doing a lot of damage. And Ezreal, he's not the best at objective control, stuff like that, but Tarzaned, I'm pretty sure, knows that Graves is topside here, so he knows he should likely Graves is topside, so he should be able to pick up a free Drake here, and he has priority in the bot lane as well. It's going to help him go over and just take this Drake, which is going to be pretty good, getting Mountain Drake for his team early on. His team doesn't really have any tanks. Mountain Drake is definitely better on tanks, getting the percent increase your resistances, but Ezreal will take some resistance increases. You know, that'll just help him out, not getting one shot, and getting that Mountain Drake away from something like a Dr. Mundo, that's going to be very, very important as well. I think some things to take into account when you are picking Ezreal is you do want to look at your team comp a little bit. Obviously, he doesn't provide a ton of utility to the team. He does provide a ton of damage. So if you think your team has enough utility and they're going to be able to survive without, you know, a ton of utility in the jungle, I think he can be a great pick if you have supportive champions around him and stuff. In this game, Tarzaned actually just picks it into it. His team doesn't have a ton of utility, but he's still able to pull off this pick really well, just because obviously he's a massive, massive hard carry jungler and just has confidence in himself like that. And if you guys have that too, this is a really fun option. I also think Ezreal is very, very fun to play. So finding more ways to get him onto team comps, get him onto the map, is always going to be really fun. He's an exciting champion that always has a really high play rate. So this is just another opportunity, if you enjoyed playing Ezreal, to try it out. Also, Ezreal Jung has been a thing in the past. This is not a new pick by any means. As we see, they go for this dive. Varus does miss the ult, but they get the GP ult down. You can see just how much damage Tarzaned is able to do to them there. He's even tanking like their full minion wave, but he's still able to pick up some kills. Zoe does come down on a roam of her own, but Morgana lands a nice Q there, and it's looking like they should be able to get out alive. Zoe uses the W flash there, and she's going a little too aggressive, and she does pick up the shutdown on Tarzaned, but it's looking like Caitlyn should be able to pick up some kills here. Or Varus should be able to pick up some kills there after all. I don't know why I thought it was Caitlyn. Morgana landed some nice Qs to get him out of that. So yeah, just a lot of active, crazy plays. He is trying to be proactive in the early game. Again, Ezreal's not going to be the strongest, but if there's still plays to be made, you can still go for him because he does have a lot of outplay potential and just a lot of damage potential there. If you miss everything, you're going to do no damage, but there is the potential to just do an absurd amount of damage here. We can take a look now. Tarzaned is 3-2-3 at this point. We saw he did get the warrior, and we see he has his slightly magical boots. And again, in this game, he's going to start building in the Blade of the Rune King, but then he's going to end up picking up a Sheen and going into Iceborne Gauntlets. But yeah, just he is into Graves, so getting some of that armor early is going to be nice for him, just for dueling and stuff purposes. Again, he believes Graves is bot side, so he's going to try and go for this Herald. Always just a super, super key important thing. Tarzaned, one of the best things about him, he is so good at tracking the enemy jungler and knowing when his lanes have priority and all this stuff. But mostly tracking the enemy jungler. Again, he was pretty sure Graves was top side waiting for the dragon, was pretty sure Graves was bot side when he's going for this Herald, and he's able to pick up free objectives, even though Graves would probably be able to stop him. He's even a level down on Graves right now, just because he's died twice. But just by having good map knowledge, having good game knowledge, being able to predict where the enemy jungler is going to be, he's been able to pick up a free dragon and a free uncontested Rift Herald for his team without having a super hard winning top lane, without having a super hard winning bot lane. And now we're going to see him duel the Graves here. I believe Tarzaned was able to pick up the Rift Herald. Or not the Rift Herald, the Scuttle. He was able to pick that up, so that is nice for him. But yeah, his top lane 0-0-4. His bot lane is actually stomping pretty hard, so it makes a little bit of sense for the Dragon. But the Herald didn't necessarily have to be as free. Looking like they might be looking either for a dive on Mundo here or to potentially pick up some plates. I think either of those would be big plays. Obviously, Herald is better to use when you can get more plates down off it, so they'll try to weaken it a little bit first. Maybe even look to get first tower here. But Mundo has used his ultimate now, so he's going to be healing up a little bit. GP is getting low, and he doesn't have ult. So we're going to have to be a little careful because, again, they know that Graves is topside. Graves is a level up on the Ezreal. He also has more health and stuff, and is probably just a little stronger right now. So he's going to take that Herald recall. Yeah, you don't always, just because you walk up there doesn't mean you always have to use the Herald. Herald is going to be best going for multiple plates, going for first tower bonus. It's only 10 minutes. They still have 4 more minutes to get plates and stuff. Just because Tarzan walks up there, he doesn't have to use it right away. And oftentimes, using that Herald recall to get back to base faster, get on the map, start farming your jungle, especially for junglers, can be really, really good. And I think Tarzan shows a great example of that there. Just going to go back to farming, picking up his bot side again. Bot side camps, very, very easy for Ezreal to do. Really awesome at kiting the camps. You can use the Q a ton to just get a ton of damage out. You can use the E to kite around a little bit extra if you're not as good as kiting. And now we are, getting ready for the dragon to spawn up here within the next minute. Still has that Herald to maybe distract a little bit from doing that. We see this mid tower looking pretty juicy for them to pick up here as well. Might be looking for a play there. Dropping the Herald mid, taking that mid tower, and maybe heading into Dragon. That's what I'm thinking at least. But we'll see what our boy Tarzan is going to be doing. Obviously, he is the expert jungler here. Miss Fortune is level 6. Ezreal up 2 levels. She's looking pretty juicy here with Senna in base. He misses his first Q, gets an auto down, and then starts going to work. He gets a GP ult, which is awesome, and you can see just how much damage he does there. He even missed a couple Qs. It wasn't even his maximum damage potential, but it is more than enough to kill a 80 carry that is a little bit behind at this stage in the game. He is going to spawn the Herald down bottom, and it looks like it should be able to knock out the first tower. At the very least, they're going to get very close, and with Ezreal's W, they'll definitely be able to get it. This is huge, opening up the map, gets him in a really good spot to pick up this next dragon. And again, he really maximized the gold on the Herald there. If he would have dropped it top, he would have picked up like 2 plates, 320 gold. Getting in the bot lane, they were able to pick up more plates, first tower bonus, get so much more just by waiting a couple seconds, couple minutes, being patient. And then now they can even use that Herald to potentially pick up a dragon, but Graves is here to contest. This is not going to be free by any means. The other team could have something to say about it. Graves is walking in. They're the same level, though. It's going to be a close smite. Graves flashes in. Red team gets a dragon from a Varus Q, it looked like. Neither jungler was able to pick that up. But yeah, works out for Tarzan's team. Zoe comes in. Ezreal's getting pretty low. He's able to kite around, and Zoe kills him again. Tarzan has been getting some trouble from the Zoe Tuesday. But yeah, he's 4-3-4 now. Again, he's been really, really proactive, picking up 2 dragons, Herald, first tower, helping his team do so much. Even though he has 3 deaths, he's staying even in level with Graves and just putting in a ton of work around the map, and Ezreal really allows you to do that, which is really impressive. Again, seeing this from an Ezreal who is not the strongest champion in the early game. He does need to scale up with items a little bit. But yeah, if you look for the right plays, do the right stuff, you can be really strong. And then he's picked up a ton of gold, and he's already starting to pick up some really nice item power spikes. And he's going to be in a good spot to carry this game and just do a ton of damage in the mid game. And he hasn't done anything too crazy. He's obviously had very, very nice mechanics throughout the whole thing. But so much of this game has just been tracking the enemy team's jungler, picking up free plays. On the ganks and stuff he's gone for, he's actually died a lot, even though he has picked up some kills. The other team has really just counter-ganked him really, really effectively. And you see that Ezreal, once he E's, if he has to use his E to get a kill after he E's, he's pretty much just a sitting duck who's going to get killed. But yeah, I mean, the big plays in this game have been the dragons, have been the Herald. But he is making sure he's able to get kills even on the ganks. But yeah, he's not getting not punished by the other team either. He's definitely dying a little bit. But he does have his team with a 2,000 gold lead at 13 minutes, which is pretty significant, pretty sizable lead. His red buff is about to be spawning. It looks like his raptors got stolen away from him. He has the one little raptor left. Raptors definitely going to be a little bit easier for him to do now at this point in the game than they would have been otherwise. Sweeping out the jungle here after picking up that red buff. Looks to head topside. Graves is up there, but he's on a recall. Not sure if he knows Graves is going to be there or if Graves is going to stick around. Graves is in base now, so Mundo starts backing up, being a little bit safer. But he is very low. He doesn't have ultimate. This is not a good spot for Mundo. Tarzan misses a Q, flashes in. The GP ult is down, and he picks up that auto with Ezreal to get the kill there. That is something really, really important too. A lot of people always say that low elo Ezreals don't auto attack enough. They fall in love with just this idea of throwing out Qs, farming with Q, only using Q to do damage. Ezreal's autos are really, really good, and a free way to apply red buff, which he had the double buff there. So getting the red buff auto attack onto Mundo, burn him a little bit, slowing him, helps you land your other abilities, and it just does damage too. He was able to kill him, even though he missed a couple Qs, he was able to kill the Mundo just by making sure he auto attacked him down enough. Always very, very important. Do not forget, make sure you auto attack as Ezreal. It's a very, very easy way to just straight up increase your win rate on Ezreal. They have, again, about a 3,000 gold lead at 14 minutes, almost 15 minutes now. This game is in a pretty good spot. The other team has a little bit of scaling, nothing too crazy, but Tarzaned's team has some nice scaling as well. Again, with EZREAL GP, they're going to be looking pretty good. The other team's bot lane is 0-6. So yeah, Tarzaned's team's looking good there. They have a lethality Varus, who's just going to be a nightmare for the other team's squishies. Not going to be able to kill Mundo as easy, but they definitely have enough ways to kill Mundo, and he's 1 and 2, so he shouldn't be too big of an issue. Zoe is pretty big. Graves is pretty big. We got a couple threats here. This game is not in the bag by any means, but his team's definitely in a good spot, especially if they can get to Soul Point with the next dragon. Tuesday is, again, Zoe having a pretty good game. He's got a couple deaths, but 6 kills on Zoe, that's going to be very, very scary. If you get bubbled, you're going to be getting one shot, especially as EZREAL said. Something he's going to have to be mindful of. You're going to have to make sure he's using the E defensively well to position around and stuff. He has picked up the Iceborne Gauntlets now, as you can see as he applies to that. He picked up the Warrior, picked up the Iceborne Gauntlets. He's got a lot of armor now. He's building into Ninja Tabby as well. Because, again, Graves is 3-0. He's trying to not get one shot by Graves. That is going to be very, very important. It will help against Misfortune and Senna a little bit, obviously, but they are kind of inting. They're not too worried about that. You can see that just every time he lands a Q, it does so much damage, and his ultimate there was not able to kill Zoe. But, man, he's forcing her off the tower. They should be able to pick up another tower here. And as long as he's landing abilities, they're doing a ton. Crazy that E didn't hit him, but the minion does tank that one up for him, which is always nice. We'd love to see that. But yeah, now when he has red buff, he's able to apply slows, lane more abilities. He has Iceborne Gauntlets to apply slows, lane more abilities. It's just going to help you so much on EZREAL. And the armor from the Iceborne Gauntlets obviously super nice in this game as well. They're able to pick up the shutdown on the Graves. That's going to be pretty important because Graves is one of their more fed members. If he starts falling behind, this game's going to get significantly easier. Mundo is starting to stack armor a little bit. He's got Sunfire Cape, he's got Ninja Tabby, and he's got Bramble. But as long as they keep tagging him up, it shouldn't be too big of an issue. He's only level 11. He's not too strong by any means. He had to pop the ultimate there. Yeah, the poke from stuff like EZREAL, stuff like Ahri, stuff like Varus is pretty annoying for the Mundo. He can heal most of it back up, but if they just keep landing it on him, he's going to be in trouble. GP picks up the kill onto Misfortune there. Pretty interesting over in the side lanes. Misfortune not having a very fun time. She is 0-5, but some of that was off Tarzaned, giving some solid attention to bot lane early on in the game, helping them set up some dives, set up some plays, making her life hell a little bit. And here they are going to pick up their 3rd dragon of the game. Tarzaned has been all over the objectives. Definitely his team has been doing pretty well, getting his bot lane, helping him pick up some of these dragons. But yeah, a lot of it was his game knowledge as well. Pretty good on point. Always making sure you know where the other team's jungler is a huge thing. But now this team has such a big lead, it gets way easier. But if you put in that work in the early game, you reap the rewards later on in the game. Stuff gets easier, the better you do. So make sure you have those fundamentals and stuff down for sure. He's going to be recalled here. He's got a big chunk of gold. We'll see exactly what he picks up. He's going to be picking up Ninja Tabby and then building into Blade of the Rune King, I believe. See exactly what he can get, because I'm not sure how much gold he has. Just going to pick up a dagger, waiting maybe for a pink ward or something. Gets another dagger. So yeah, again, he's able to finish the Ninja Tabbies. He is in a good spot. He has 152 armor now, 169 AD. Pretty strong. And he's put out a significant amount of damage this game because he's been in like all of these fights. See where that ult goes. It is actually able to hit Zoe and does enough damage to the Rift Herald to allow his team to kill it. He's going to go pick up this blue buff. Getting both the buffs are actually really good for EZREAL. Getting the mana, regen, the CDR and stuff on blue buff. Really, EZREAL loves that, but EZREAL loves red buff as well. Applying those slows and the damage on red buff is going to be very good. Obviously for any marksman, but EZREAL is no exception to that. Let's see what he's able to do in this team fight. He gets right in the middle of things. He is able to pick up the redemption from his team, but he actually gets blown up there. He got a little too far forward. Didn't use his E too well. I don't know if he thought his team was going to be backing him up a little bit more there, or if he thought he was going to do more damage. But yeah, the healing from the Senna, the tankiness from the Mundo. But now Varus is just going to town, kind of picking up some free kills on people. They're not really respecting the Varus damage as much as they should be. But yeah, not exactly a well-played team fight from the EZREAL there. Did not really show the damage or carry potential or anything. But hopefully he can do a little bit better in the next one. The other team definitely has some big damage threats, though. Not the easiest comp for an EZREAL to play in, at least in my opinion. He has one more second on his death timer and he'll be up. He wasn't able to buy anything this life, but hopefully he can pick up some kills here and he'll be back. But he did just get the blue buff and give it away instantly. We're coming up on 20 minutes. His team has about around a 2,000 gold lead. That's kind of the gold lead they've had for a while, so they're not really extending their lead, but again, they're not throwing their lead either. Once you have a lead like that, you'd like to extend it and get stronger, but having a 2,000 gold lead at 20 minutes, no big deal. You're in a really, really good spot. You're going to win that game for sure more often than not, a decent percentage of the time. But let's see just how they can close this one out. They have a very, very fed Varus, but he has lethality, so he's not going to scale a ton. But he can kind of bridge the gap to the mid to late game of the GP and the Ezreal, hopefully. Graves is still a big threat. Zoe's still a big threat. Mundo is going to be pretty annoying, but their bot lane largely useless. Senna's healing is always going to be a little bit annoying, but Miss Fortune's not doing too much for her team at this point, especially compared to Varus, who has the utility of his ultimate and just the big one-shot capability of his lethality. See what the other team is looking for here. Zoe showing off her damage, getting Morgana to about half health, and that's even without the Sleepy Trouble bubble. And if she would have landed that, that for sure would have been game over for the Morg. But she also had flash and heal too, so she was not too worried about anything. Also, Morg counters Zoe pretty hard. Obviously, you can get the E down and able to prevent most sleeping from going on. Ezreal looking for the play here mid. He's able to land the ultimate, which is nice. Miss Fortune does pick up a kill on Varus, but Ezreal is here to pick up some kills. He picks up the double kill in the mid lane. The Iceborne Gauntlet really helping out a ton there. He's got the Morgana shield, but he doesn't want to go too crazy. Going to start lifestealing up a little bit. Obviously, he has the Vamp Scepter, and he wants to top himself off a little bit. GP looks like he is coming for the flank here. See if they can pick up this kill onto Graves. Tarzan does tag him up. Graves in the middle of 4 right now. He's looking to get a kill to get out of it, but he is not able to. That was a really, really nice, well-played team fight by Tarzan and his team. You saw he was patient there. He was able to just wait, clean up that fight. And yeah, showed off Ezreal's mobility, damage everything a little bit. Mundo was actually top lane, so they were able to find a favorable fight where he wasn't able to be so annoying. And that's going to be a huge huge play where now they're looking at picking up the Ocean Soul here soon, and Ocean Soul just has an absolutely disgusting win rate. And yeah, if they're able to get that, this game is pretty much going to be a wrap. They're up around 3,000 gold now, finally starting to extend that lead a little bit. But yeah, I don't think that's anything. I don't think it's anything too worrisome. Tarzan is now 7-4-6. He just finished up his Blade of the Rune King. Because they didn't have a ton of great, like obviously Ezreal's not amazing early game, Gangplank's not amazing early game, so them having that 2,000 gold lead at 20 was really, really big, and now they're showing how they are able to use their very, very strong mid game to continue to break this game wide open. And this dragon is spawning within the next 10 seconds is going to be a really, really pivotal part of the game. If the enemy team is able to win this fight and pick up this dragon, they could definitely extend this game for a while, maybe come back a little bit. But if Tarzan's team picks up this Drake, Ocean Soul, that's probably going to be GG. Mundo is able to hit some Qs on Tarzan. He's taking a little bit of damage from the Thornmail and stuff. He dodges Sleepy Trouble Bubble there, which is definitely really, really important. Besides the E4, gets a little bit aggressive. They're poking that Mundo down a ton. This Fortune ult doesn't really hit anybody too much. The other team is actually doing some solid damage here. Ari gets hit with the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Mundo has to flash out. He's getting a little bit low and doesn't have his ultimate anymore. Ezreal picks up the kill on Mundo, picks up another kill onto Zoe. Again, waiting patiently, waiting for those cooldowns, taking your chances to be able to just E forward, dish out a ton of damage. Graves gets in, actually picks up a kill onto Varus, but Ezreal picks up the triple kill onto Graves. Looking for the quadra kill here. He gets the quadra kill onto Miss Fortune and then is able to pick up the Ocean Soul as well. Is he going to be able to pick up the pentakill? Senna looks like she's in base. She's not going to give the penta. But that was a huge, huge play. They've cracked this game wide open. Almost a 4,500 gold lead now. They pick up the Ocean Soul. This game should be almost impossible to lose. Tarzan is now 11-4-6. You're seeing this mid-game power spike to Ezreal. He was able to just absolutely dominate that team fight, dancing all around, dodging all the different skill shots, and pumping out a ton of damage. And this is at, 3.5 items, 4 items counting the boots. Yeah, just being an absolute monster. And obviously having those Drakes helps a ton too. Ocean Soul is going to help you in team fights greatly. But yeah, Ezreal played the early game well, died a couple times, but made sure to get his kills just to power up for an even stronger mid-game power spike, and then just took over the game from there. Right around the 20-minute mark is where you're going to be going as Ezreal. 2 to 3 items is really what you're looking for, and Tarzan showcased that really, really well in this game. Hitting the 24-minute mark, we can see in the bottom, we don't have much of this game left, and I believe it. Tarzan's team now has a huge lead. He's 11-4. Varus is 8-5. Nobody on his team doing too bad. And the other team, they don't have much going for them, especially that bot lane. Still really, really struggling. Tarzan's team should just be one good team fight away from wrapping this one up, just because they have such a big, big lead at this point. Tarzan went back. He actually did pick up the Hex Drinker again. That's going to be really, really good for Zoe. He actually does pick up Maw a lot of times in these games. If you don't want to be getting one-shot by mid laners, if they have a big mid lane threat to you, picking up Maw, always going to be a good idea. Really, really good item on Ezreal. Here they go on Mundo. He is just mincemeat there. They pick up a very, very easy kill, a little bit overextended. Even though they saw Tarzaned was bot side, so I'm a little bit confused about that. See the ult go up, goes through a couple people. Not able to pick up any kills, but he sees Misfortune as a sitting duck there, gives the flash, gives the E. You actually make some really impressive plays with your E and your flash, covering a ton of distance. He tried to E over the Sleepy Trouble bubble there, actually E's onto it, but he picks up another easy triple kill there. Again, Senna got to see the Ezreal damage. Zoe gets a piece of it too. And yeah, his team's marching down mid lane. They should be able to wrap up this game now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. I can't even talk. This is my breakdown of Tarzaned's Ezreal jungle. Again, not a new pick, not a pick he invented, but a pick that he is maybe popularizing once again. He has been absolutely spamming it in Challenger and having a ton of success. And I think you guys can have a ton of success with this pick too. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, so update on all my latest content. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Ezreal jungle. If you guys try it out, let me know how that goes. Also, check out the Robinhood link in my description. Get yourself a free stock and help me out as well in the process. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.